Whoa, what's up? How we doing? Otter Gang, shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Otter Gang. Hope you're all doing well. How are we all doing on this beautiful CPI data? Let's get those likes up. We got 9 people in here so far, and we got 0 likes. So let's get those likes up. Hope you're all doing well. We'll jump into the charts. We'll look at Bitcoin. We got a massive pump today. We also are going to look at Render, APT, and anything else you guys want me to take a check on, we will do. Just throw it in the chat. Glad you're here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Appreciate every single one of you for being here. And what happened today? Well, Bitcoin has been flying, as we can see. We're going to turn this stuff off here and just get an overall look at what's going on with Market Cipher. How's everybody doing? Good old day, Alex. Shout out to the chat. Space Invader is in the chat. Green Kool-Aid is also in the chat. And Nomad Dad is in the chat saying, what's up? Good to see you guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your support. Shout out to you guys. Always here. I see you in the Discord. I see you helping out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, we got the Otter Gang out here wondering what's gonna happen here. We got a big wick up today and a rejection. Now my alert went off. I was at work and I did not short this. We got the data. We got the 6% inflation, and wow, look, it pumped up and then boom, rejection. 26,600, 500, 26.5, a new high for 2023. Question, did the O in Alex come from being in Australia, or did you have it in the UK? The O is actually my last name, Osti. So there you go. You know the secret. It's Alex O Crypto, and Osti's the last name. Nothing to hide here. So it was just that easy. It rhymed with crypto, so we went Alex O Crypto. Had a lad called Dave who went to Oz as Dave and came back as Dave-O. Oh, they do say when they want to get your attention. I work with an Aussie guy. He's Aussie as, and he goes, oi, whenever he wants to get your attention. So could be that, but let's look at the charts here. So the daily, we can see the wick. Now we got the Doge. This one obviously hasn't had that much time. This is only 17 hours in with this daily. We look at the Market Cipher. We could see that definitely price has shot up. We see this big shoot up here on the Market Cipher. We can also see the stochastic cooled off, pop back up. We've had this massive pump over the past 3 days, which is insane for Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin has pumped almost 35% over the last 4 days. That is just madness. Shout out if you caught the bottom. I've been scalping this all the way up, taking profits along the way. I'm currently not in a trade, but I'm looking to enter, and I'm looking to see if we can find anything. We had this bearish divergence that brought us out. Maybe we can find something else today that will give us a signal to maybe looking for price movement to be either going up or rejected to the downside. We know one thing is for sure. With this, they have grabbed a lot of liquidity, okay? That's one thing that we have to know is, yes, they pumped the market down, but they came up and grabbed a lot of shorts here, right? A lot of shorts have been grabbed. Therefore, what are they looking to do? Are they looking to dump it on our heads? Because obviously, they've turned the money printers on. They got 6% inflation. And it's very much an untold game. They don't know which way they're going. I don't know which way to lean right now. And I'm trying to figure it out by looking at the charts, right? And trying to figure out some sort of idea so that we, the Otter Gang, can figure out a trading strategy here. And I got a couple of levels. I got a couple of ideas. But obviously, we can see that we're getting a reversal triangle on this candle here. So does that mean we're going down? Now, we did get a reversal on the weekly here before. That did bring us down. So we got to watch, because sometimes these reversal weeklies, the weekly brought us down. Can this reversal daily bring us down as well? Are we going to stop here in our tracks and maybe trend sideways, which I'm looking at for more of coming up this week? You know, we have the next kind of data, I believe, coming up is on the 10th of April, but there's also many other things. So don't forget to be checking economiccalendar.com or the Forex Forum, where they talk about when news is coming. We'll keep you informed. Join us in the free Discord. Trade setups are always given. Charts are always given. Many people in there willing to help. Very, very lovely group in our Discord. Always chatting it up throughout the day. Some good laughs. Some good fun. And obviously a lot of otter memes, because, that's how we roll. So as we flip through here, we can see the reversal. So we're definitely looking at that. We can see that stochastic here on the market cipher is curling down. VWAP has pumped up immensely. Money flow is touching zero, right? It's crossed over into the dark zone, right? So news out today as well, right? PPI in a few hours too. So very, very, very interesting with the news. It's moving the markets, right? And we'll look over at the S&P 500, how it's reacted. We'll look at the dollar index, and the dominance of the dollar and how it's actually come out. So what are we looking for and how can we trade this, right? So let's flip through these time zones, take a look at market cipher. What's it giving us? We can see that on these midterm time ranges between 18, 16, and 14, that money flow has come up, but it is looking to be rejected here. Now, we always look at money flow as a long-term indicator of the markets and how money is coming in and out of the market. So you can see it came out of the markets on the downtrend, right? Now it seems to be curling back over and flattening out. Now this could be bearish for Bitcoin. If this continues sideways like this, it looks like money is still not fully coming into the markets and pumping us upwards, right? So this can be bearish. We got to keep our eye on these midterm timeframes for the next couple of days of trading, right? It's definitely only Wednesday. So remember, come Wednesday, there might be a sentiment flip in the market. And obviously with all this huge pumpage, we can definitely expect a reversal throughout. So let's keep an eye on that. We can see stochastics is coming down and also momentum, and we are getting a red dot on the 10 hour. So that's something new to bring to your attention. And as we flip here, no confirmed red dot on the 8. So that might just be a blip on the 10, but let's watch that as well. Stochastic has turned red. VWAP has come down to the 0 line, and the money flow is flattening out in the red. So this is not bullish in my opinion. We have come up and we've touched these areas, this new high, which is great for Bitcoin. It's great to put in a new high. We are pushing the limit on Bitcoin, and especially with all this bearish news with the Silicon Valley Bank, it's awesome to see that Bitcoin is outperforming gold. It's outperforming so many things throughout the market, and which is very bullish for crypto in my opinion, which is good for us overall who are holding the bags. So make sure to pay yourselves. Let's look for some more trades. Now getting into the lower term time frames between the 5 down to the 1, and we'll look at this. So overall, the midterm time frames do look a bit more bearish. It looks like we are getting exhausted at the top here, and we are starting to curl over, and this could mean a little bit of a retracement for Bitcoin. I mean, we've pumped 40% almost. So let's look for some healthy market structure and maybe a retracement in order to get us continuing to the upside. Obviously, we want to see higher prices for Bitcoin, but we also want to be realistic, right? We also want to be realistic. So we'll throw on some price labels, some ideas, and some things that we had on our charts. And we were saying, let's trade these levels yesterday. And as we had these levels yesterday, we can see that we came up to this top and we blasted right through it with this data, and we came up to this new level up here, which we did not have marked out on our charts, but we punched through, and we came back down, and it's been actually respected multiple times throughout the day. So if you did have these levels, I'm not trying to say that we were right, but we definitely have had these levels, and they have been respected. You can see that once we came back down and we dumped, we came down and we touched this level here. And also we retraced down and we pumped and we came to this level here. So you could have gotten into a short here or a long from here, right? This would have been a nice gain, and this would have been a nice gain as well. And we are currently trending a little bit upwards right now, but obviously we have come down from this bullish sentiment news, which a 5% on Bitcoin is actually a really good trade with a little bit of leverage. You'd be taking some nice profits, putting it into your pocket. So don't forget to take down these levels. It's important to know where price is going to go. Right now, I think we're bouncing in between the VWAP. VWAP is definitely holding us down right now and possibly can see a little bit more of a retracement downside. But let's look to test these levels once again. 25.2 has been respected throughout. If we look to the left here, we can see that we definitely can see the respect of these levels multiple times, and then this 23.8 has been respected as well as the tops below here. So this is a range that I'm looking to trade right now. I'm looking to short the top, long the bottom, and looking to get into these trades as long as there's not too much volume. When volume kicks in, I'm looking for a reaction and then more of a swing trade because we're going to get a bigger move. So we'll be watching that throughout the week and keeping you guys updated. Now, with Market Cipher here on these shorter term time frames, you can see that we're curled over and we're getting some sort of divergence here on the price that is looking to send us downwards, right? This is definitely a bearish divergence sending us downwards, curling over, stochastics in the red, VWAP's failing to get above the zero here, and we'll look for money flow over this term to actually start curling over, and we can see it's starting to flat out on the 2 hour, and it's starting to come down on the 1 hour. So this is more indicative of a retracement, so we're definitely looking for that. But with all this news, with all this data coming out, data, I don't know what you call it, just don't call me data. Okay, so let's keep going, and let's look at the price here and see what we can find. So we're going to look to trade between these levels and look for a reaction on price. Like I said, right now, VWAP is holding us down, definitely looking to cool off, right? Big news pump to the moon. We were trading here. I managed to catch a short here last night, which was given. I shorted here, took the profits, went to bed, right? And then obviously when Australia sleeps, New York happens, and we got this huge pump, right? Exhaustion wick, and then a curl over, and then downwards we went, right? So we can see that it did attempt here, but obviously the bears came in with their last ditch efforts in order to stop us from moving up. Now, when we zoom out on Bitcoin, we can definitely see that there is this clear gap above us. If we zoom out and we go to the daily here, we'll get the otter out of the way. And we can see that there's this clear level above us. If we turn on the VRVP, which we'll pull up right now, and we can see that there's a clear volume gap above us here, right? So we can mark this out, and maybe let's take some sort of fib between here and there, and maybe just maybe we can find that there is some levels. Yeah, there is a golden pocket above us as well, and we bounced off the 0.5 here at 26.5ish, so we could have had that marked out, but it's very hard to predict these kind of moves at this midterm level because we haven't come up here just yet. We can see we clearly have a volume level here at 28,000, so look for a reaction definitely at 28,000, but now we can definitely mark out the top of this wick here, and if price comes up, look for a little bit of a reaction as well. Now, if we look to the left, I just noticed this now, that we have the lows from before here, and this could have been a signal, and we missed it. I'm sorry, can't catch everything, but look, we missed it, and look, price came up beautifully and touched this bottom right here. If we had this level marked out, you gotta look to the left, right? Let's mark out this bottom too then, just in case, right? I mean, look at that. Look at that. That would have been beautiful. Let's bring this up just a tad. Oof. Right in the middle of that. So you can see that this has been respected. I mean, to the dollar almost. That's wild. That's cool to see. And they say TA doesn't work, right? That's amazing. So definitely make a note of that is a low there, and then we have one above here. So I think this would be the first stop or reaction if we do decide to go to Pumpville or whatever you want to call it, but we're going up there one day or another. So let's keep our eyes, take down these levels, make sure to add them to your charts, look for reactions, look for divergences, look for exhaustion where price is failing to get above, things like that, in order to be looking to get into a nice, juicy, profitable trade, right? So now we can see that we're getting a bit of a pump. Guaranteed it's probably off of a 0.5 here or something like that. Let's pull this up and let's take a look. Oh, 382, yep. And then if we go from the other retracement here, it's a golden pocket. So look at it. It's popping up now, right? So you can trade this range, right? There's definitely confluence here. We popped through the VWAP here, and we can see that money flow is curving up a bit. And if you want to scalp this range, it's like we said earlier, it's nice to have volatility. It's nice to see volume actually coming into this market and allowing us to trade Bitcoin. Look at the big volume surges compared to, if we go over here to the left, you can see here it really switches. Even this is so flat over here in early March, right? Compared to now, we're kind of a lot higher. So it makes for nice trading. It makes for movement in the charts, which as traders we love, right? Because we can see that it's bounced here. You're getting levels that are being respected throughout. I'm sure if we pull this up here, we can see that this is a fib level here. If we pull down from here to here, we can see 0.5 there. Yeah, so there's multiple confluences throughout. We just got to be ready to trade, right? So make sure you take these highs down at 25.2, and the lower level of this pump is around 23. I'd say around 23. Yeah, 24K. Let's make it a whole number. Psychological, right? 24K. And look for price to work its way around here. Now with news, depending on bullish or bearish, we're going to definitely be looking for grabbing a short here and a long here, and some extra volume to grab those longer swing trades. So that can be very juicy if we're just looking for the news and we're looking to trade the news. Sometimes it's hard to just jump in on news. It's not always what it seems. I know I've traded quite a few inflation rates, and a lot of the time, if we zoom in here, we get the Darth Maul wick, we call it, right? The Darth Maul wick, that's the one that looks like his lightsaber, right? So let me see. If we go in here, oh yeah, there it is. See, I can spot it a mile away, right? Here it is, right in the middle here. You can see that this is definitely where it happened, right here. If we go to like the 4 minute, maybe we get the Darth Maul wick. It's getting smaller. The 6 minute. And there it is. Darth Maul wick, right? So we got the Darth Maul wick right here. And it is definitely, it moves like madness. Like we said yesterday, how do we read these? Well, I think the first move tells us which way it's not going to go, and then the after move tells us which way it does go. So let's take a look at it. This is always fun, right? We go on the 1 minute, right? And let's press play. Let's see what happened. This is always fun. So we can see, okay, downside. Should I speed it up a little bit? It's moving up. Wow, it just popped, eh? That's wild. So you didn't even really have a chance here. It wicked down just so slightly, and then boom, shot to the moon, right? You can see exhaustion, blood diamond, pump back up, bouncing off the VWAP. We have a video on the VWAP. Look how well respected that was. Trying to push higher, getting people into longs. Red X, higher high. Blood diamond, reversal, red X. They didn't really give you guys a chance. Wow. See, this is why it's hard. We got massive volatility. They've cooled you out. Everybody here, I'm sure, is longing. What's the bet? Everybody here, after all this, is longing. You got your beautiful triangle here. Look at this bear flag. You're going to go up, right? Blood diamond, dump it on their heads, right? Reversal again. So you've got multiple indications of blood diamond, blood diamond, right? I know this is on the 1 minute time frame, but we're just trying to see how this played out. It's very, very quick, and bang, there it goes. Underneath the VWAP, there's your first tell. Come back, retest the VWAP. Drops on your head, right? That's how well the VWAP works. Wow. So we've been talking about the VWAP here, and let's look at it. Make sure to add the VWAP to your trading strategy. You can see right here, it came up. Oopsie. It came up, popped off the VWAP, stayed above it, right? Tested it again, stayed above it, tested it again, dropped through it, came up to retest, and then dropped straight down, right? And that volume weighted average price pushed us lower, and then we obviously dropped into the range from today. So very interesting to watch how these CPI data, and the way your mind thinks about how price action is behaving, right? It's very interesting. So we're going to go over to Render. Thank you so much for asking me to go over some altcoins. Render here. We're going to take a look. We got a box drawn out here. This is for you, Mr. Nomad. Don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe. We appreciate you guys looking at Render. We're at the point of control. So obviously we have this huge pump here, POC level. We are above the POC, so look to the value area high, and with this Render, we can see that we have this level up here. But I wouldn't be looking at that just yet. I'd look for a range. This would be my range here. These are the highs of the previous range. You've tapped the top of this volume, but I'd zoom in and look at this sideways range right now. We can see that we have the tops here that have been respected. Maybe you can lower this a little bit. Yeah, somewhere around here. And I'd be looking for it to come either to the top here and get rejected, or to remain at this point of control and continue upwards, right? It's going to be led by Bitcoin, so make sure you always check on Bitcoin. We can pull a fib from up here, and we can see that it has bounced off a golden pocket. This isn't the total range, but it's very easy to see that Render is kind of bouncing off. Yeah, it's a 0.5. So you can see that this point of control is going to hold up Render right for now. So just make sure to note that this level right here is significant for Render at 1.43, and it should be very hard to break down. And if you do break down from 143, so I'd be looking for a long here. I'd be looking for it to come back and then to long upwards because of the market sentiment, or to lose this, come back and retest it, and then drop down. That would be my bullish and bearish case. It would be surrounded by this point of control for the giant range, right? And with this level here, you can definitely see that it has been respected multiple times. So look for a reaction at the point of control. Look for it to either push through or bounce off, right? Push through or bounce off. And that's what I'll definitely be looking for. You can see here, you got to bounce off from this pump. You've come up, you've tried to flip it to support, and you're coming up now. So it just had a reaction, as you can simply see. And if it holds, you can see it's come up, bounced off this key level here, and it's looking to work its way higher, right? So I would use the point of control as a measuring stick right now to guide you on how to trade this altcoin in order to be profitable. Obviously, it's come up, it tested it, it pushed it down, now it's flipped it to support. Look for it to continue upwards, maybe look for a reaction here, or look for another retest of this level and to push higher. And that's my thoughts for Render. So I hope that helps you. But yeah, look for it to work its way around this 143 area and look for a reaction, whether upwards or downwards, right? ICP, if you're after another one to look at, pumped hard with BTC and crashed even harder last time. Okay, my man, no problem. ICP after APT. So APT, we have this box here. I looked at it quickly beforehand. Now this one is definitely looking bullish as well. It's pumped like crazy. We have this key level here at 1446 that has been respected multiple times at the top of this range. So look for the price to trade within this range between 1448. This is a bit far-fetched, 12.4, but I think that's way too much. Look at the percentage. Yeah, 16%. So let's find you something more closer to what's going on here. So we'll pull a volume profile for this range. We'll look, oh, look at that point of control. So we will pull this up. We will see the POC here, and we will put this up here. Now, APT Aptos has been moving quite nicely. It has pumped a huge 50% pretty much, which is wild. Lots of gains to be had here. So you can see this range here between 13 and 14, 13, 13, and 14, 44. And I'd be looking for it to range within this and follow Bitcoin along its way. So you can see the giant volume node here as well that has been respected. So look for a reaction within this range. Trade the highs and the lows. It has been respecting. It's touched once and twice, so we're right in the middle of the range right now. This is not it's not tradable. I'd be patient and I'd wait. I'd wait for it to come to the lower side or the higher side. Obviously, with alts, they move quite extreme. This is a 10% range, right? So it looks like maybe your fib retracement is here. Yes, it is. Golden pocket. So we zoom in and we can see definitely it's bouncing off of here at the golden pocket. Could look to work its way back up and look for a reaction here. So we've seen it come down, test the bottom of the range. Now it's worked its way up, right? Look for it to continue to put higher lows and have a reaction up here. And maybe you can short from up here. Or maybe we can see some sort of downtrend that happens where you can long from down here as well. So look for these two ranges and look for them to have a reaction where you can find a bullish or a bearish divergence, right? Obviously, you're flagging from the pump, but trade the range, look for a reaction. You can see the exhaustion here, pumped it back up, right? Same with here, exhaustion, pumped down. So absolutely, practice good risk management. Keep an eye on that. Now we're going to jump over to ICP. Thanks for the render, TA. Anytime, my man. Nomad Dad in the chat. Got you, bro. Got you, bro. Good stuff, my man. And now we're going to go over to ICP. Where is ICP in the place to be? ICP? ICQ. Did any of you guys use ICQ back in the day for gaming? Or am I like old? I think I'm old. ICQ was like a messenger thing for gaming. Counter-Strike. Anyways, so we're going to look at ICP. Massive pump. Wow. All right. First thing I see is this trend line. Look for a reaction off this trend line. First thing I see. So I'd be looking for, obviously, it to come down, test this low, and bounce. And I'd look for it to break and then retest, right? So first thing I would do with ICP is mark out this trend line. Make it pretty tight so that, you know, if we do get a reaction outside of it, you look for a retest so it drops out. Sometimes you don't get this retest. It can be frustrating, but it's more safer to look for the retest and then come down, right? Or just look for a bounce off, right? Now, when we zoom out, Half-Life and Counter-Strike on the PC. Yes, sir. D-Dust all day. Yeah, man, I used to game that hard when I was younger. I used to go to, like, internet cafes, Scouts and Knives. Good times. All right, so look. We got a level above us here. So that's definitely going to be at the $5.86 mark. And then we have this key level below us here, right? Where can we pull fibs from? I would be pulling fibs from the value area high, which is over here, down to the low. Look at that, perfectly aligned with this golden pocket. So that's definitely where I'd be looking for a short. I almost whistled while I said that. Yeah, so that's definitely confluence there. We want to be looking there. Whew, Mrs. Otter's cooking up a storm. It smells good. Hope you guys are ready for dinner because it's delicious. Mrs. Otter is killing it in the kitchen. I'm spoiled rotten. Whew. So as we follow this trend line here, I'm going to pull one from here. Look for a reaction. You can see it bounced here. Multiple reactions. Key levels of support is definitely here. We have a high, a low. Yeah. So why do I have this one too? Let's get rid of that one. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at with ICP. We have a very, very significant level up here at 585. That is your point of control, your golden pocket from the previous range, right? And we have been bouncing off of this support here multiple times. You can see it was respected back here to our left on the previous dump. So remember to be watching that. FTX created a false top on ICP when it hit the markets and dumped it hard afterwards. Yeah, so it's trying to get its footing. So we can definitely look for it to have, you can see this is probably the FTX here, is it not? And you can definitely see that it's trying to get a footing on where it actually stands. Value area high, yeah. So look for a reaction between here and here. ICP pumped like madness. Yeah, it did. So we're going to be looking between here, 550 and 585. Just note that there is a significant, strong resistance above here, right? This is very strong here. Golden pocket, point of control for the entire range. So look for a reaction there if it does make its way up. And also keep an eye on this trend line, right? And see if we can break out of it or below it, right? If you want to trade it in the short term right now and you're looking to get very into it, you can see that it's putting in higher lows right now. It's come up from this pump. It's touched this key level of resistance. It's pumped down, right? And now it's still trending upwards, right? So it's trying to find like some sort of identity here. And we can see that it's staying above the VWAP, which is well respected. It is trying to work its way higher and possibly could be retesting these highs again, right? So look for it to pump, but in order to break through here, you're going to want to turn on your volume and watch the volume and look for an increase, a movement to the upside. You can see that we have the only increase in volume here is when it's pushed it down. So it's come up here, right? And then when it's pushed down, look, you can see the volume spike here and the volume here and the volume here, right? So any attempt at higher has been met with volume and pushed it back down, right? So overall, that tells me that it's not going to be able to break through just yet, but it'll be great to look for an opportunity for a short up here, maybe at these highs, right? And look for that reaction so that we can get into a nice juicy short. Your safer bet too is to watch this trend line, look for it to finally break out because of this giant pump, retest and head down, right? Keep an eye out for that. But that's kind of my thoughts on ICP. I hope that helps you possibly jump into a trade. I'll be looking at that as well because it does look like it could be quite profitable if you do jump into that. And point of control, definitely a key level of resistance above us. So let's look for a reaction there. But you do have a giant volume node at both levels, up here and down here. So definitely looking to range in between here, right? Between 550 and 585. Doesn't mean we can't make some nice profits off of that because obviously it's an alt and there's a good like 10% move, I think, between the two. So yeah, keep an eye out for that and hopefully that helps you. Let's go over and check on Bitcoin again. What's going on? Are we pumping? Are we dumping? Whew. Looks like we pumping. On the 1 minute here, DGen time zone. Looks like we pumping. Looks like we pumping. BTC. So, one thing to note on BTC as well, if you haven't added it to your charts, we'll zoom out here. We're on the CME. There is a CME gap down below here. Okay? This is one thing to note. At 110, there is a CME gap down here. Right? Big one. Big juicy CME gap. Okay? There's one down here. I believe there's one also at 28 and change. Anytime, Space Invader. I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you're supporting the channel. I appreciate you, man. It's always good to get another opinion on the charts, right? CME gap. Boy. All right. Look at that. Another one, okay? So CME gap here, CME gap there. Let me just double check this one because I don't want to be giving you guys the wrong stuff. 27,335 to 28,650. Okay. I think the CME 365. Yeah, that's good enough for me. Three, 6, 5. 3, 6, 5. So look for one here. So we got two of them, and we're kind of sandwiched in the middle. That doesn't really help us, but we know we're going for one. So if we move up, look for us to go for either or, right? If we move down, we could be going. But it's good to know where these are. 90% of the time they get filled. We obviously came down for that one down here, around 20,000. We came down, we got it. Now we created another one on our way back up. So there's multiple CME gaps, one above us, that's pretty close, and then one below us that seems far away after this giant pump. So note to self, can keep going up, right? Can keep going up. Now it looks like we're getting a little bit of a relief pump here. Not too much on the Bitcoin. Remember, tomorrow opens. Look for these levels. Look for price to react on the Bitcoin price. We should be expecting a little bit of a cool off with all this insane pumpage. You know, we've come back up all the way to 25.2 again. We're testing the highs. We're creating new highs. Inflation is not real. They're just printing money. Who knows what's going to happen? They're bailing out banks, you know, sinking the ship, bailing it out. We'll see what happens. Markets are volatile right now. We got to remember that no matter what, up or down, we're going to extract profits, right? S&P has pumped up above this trend line. We got to watch the S&P and look for a reaction. Well, it has. It's reacted. It's pumped above this trend line, and we were looking for it to continue below this trend line. It is now out. It is now out. So can we see it flip it to support? That's what we'll be looking for on the S&P tomorrow, for it to come and stay above here and then make an attempt at this 4,071. It's clearly bounced off this key level of support here, so we'll be watching that as well, and then see how price reacts. Mrs. Otter just told me dinner's ready, so I'm gonna get going shortly. So keep an eye on this. We'll be watching it in the Discord. Don't forget to join us in the Discord. Like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. We're here live every single day. We have mindset videos. That one came out today on emotions. We had another one the other day on the VWAP. We're trying our best to get you guys the information. We can see that the dollar has come down, which is bullish for Bitcoin. We're looking for a reaction here as well, and we can see that we're kind of stagnant. So look for the dollar to either dump into this range around here or come up and continue bearishness for the markets, right? So if we want Bitcoin to pump, we want it to come below this 135 key level of support and resistance here that has been holding up, right? So if this pumps up, we're going to see a downwards movement on Bitcoin, and if we come back into this range, expect it to continue upwards. So take care. Off to work, Space Invader. Enjoy your evening, pal. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, Space Invader, and we'll see you tomorrow. We're out here. Don't forget to add these levels to your charts so that you can trade alongside with us and we can find the levels together. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you. God bless you. Take care. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Mrs. Otter, are we having stir fry? No? No stir fry. We're going to have seafood. How about some shark? Crocodile? Alligator? What's the difference? Oh well, let's see. Manja, manja. Bye.